Today is Wednesday and it's 8:50 p.m. Eastern Time. This is the 4-hour chart for the Canadian dollar futures March 2022 contract, ticker symbol /6C. And as of the time of this recording, price is trading at 0.7833. So from the 4-hour chart, where each candlestick represents 4 hours worth of trading, this is the current 4-hour time frame right now. So this is the candlestick we're currently in. And this candlestick formed about 3 hours ago. So there's like another hour remaining before this candlestick closes and a new candlestick starting all over again. So going back about a week, right? So this is today. And if I place a drawing tool, if I go back about a week to the end of this yellow line, right? So it's about 7 days right here. So that's a week. I identified 0.78444 as a local support and resistance level, because once price got above this, price was supported multiple times during this cluster of time over here. And let me just zoom in a little bit. And when price fell below it, it was rejected on 2 occasions here. And then price was supported over here, these two 4-hour candlesticks. And now that price is below it, I'm anticipating that price is going to retest 7844 with the probability of price getting above it. And the reason for that is because I've placed this support resistance level, right? So if we could say that price was respecting this, right? Because here it got rejected, comes down, pierces it, but gets rejected. Here, pierced it again, gets rejected, pierces it again, gets rejected, and then falls below the support level. So in the event that price does retest this support level and gets above it, I'm anticipating that price may have momentum behind it to push it even higher. How high? I would have to reassess that when price gets to about this level right here or this level right here, because there's a lot of resistance here as well, right? Because we can see that if I place something like this, here is rejection, here's support, support, rejection, 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 rejection. So in the event that price gets above this, I would have to reassess it and make a determination then. But right now I'm just anticipating a move towards the upside. So what I'll do is I'll create an alarm just to let me know that price is now above it. So here's my alarm right here. So there's my alarm. Now, in the event that price does work this way, right? So if it breaks out here, I would still, even if price gets above it, I would still hold off, maybe enter a position when price breaks above this resistance level, this blue diagonal resistance level. So even if price gets above it, is now above it, right? If it could still get rejected at this point, but what I'm really looking for is the breakout above this diagonal. And when that does occur, or if that does occur, that's when I would consider entering a position. Now, depending on where that is along this band, right, I would have to, see if it's gonna retest this resistance level. So let's say price breaks out over here, right? So that is approximately 18 ticks. So it's 0.0018. We don't count the 2, so it's 18 ticks. I'm just saying, this is just an example. So a measure from this potential entry to reaching this resistance level, it's a measure of 18 ticks. Now for the futures contract for this asset class, for the Canadian dollar, the Canadian dollar slash 6C, its tick size is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spaces after the decimal point. So that's tens, hundreds, ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000th of a penny. So for every 10,000th of a penny move up or down equals $5, right? So if we measure 18 ticks, so 18 ticks times $5 per tick. So this would be about a $90 move right here. So that's how this contract is calculated. And those are the levels that I'm looking for and the rationale for a potential entry. So there's no guarantees that I would, because if it does break out during, let's say, early morning hours, then I'm not going to be awake to take the trade. So again, these are just levels I have. So what I'll do is I'll probably just move this alarm a little higher. So this way, if or when it breaks, I would like to be notified when it actually breaks above this diagonal level. Not so much this support level or resistance level, but more this diagonal level. Yeah, so that's the rationale. So what I'll do is I'll pause it for now. I have my alarm set here, and I'll have a reminder to check up on this in the morning as well, even if the alarm doesn't trigger, or even if it does. Yeah, so I'll pause it for now and I'll pick it up in a few hours. Good morning. Today's Thursday, January 6th, and it's 8:55 in the morning. So just taking a look at the status of this chart, and I just broke a golden rule, and rather than waiting for price to break above my diagonal resistance level here, based on this white horizontal line, I did take a position. I just entered a position, and if I click on active trader, I took one contract at 0.78325 as my entry, and the trade is up $5. I'm going to keep a close eye on this because, again, I should have waited for this pattern to develop, but instead I entered here way below the local support resistance level, and now the trade is down $5, $10. So it looks like it's going to range, but because the Canadian dollar, the tick size is 5 points, the tick value is $5. So you can see here that each increment is up or down $5, and each move up or down is equal to $5. So yeah, I'm gonna create an alarm just to let me know that this trade is going against me. Because again, I should have waited, but I don't know. Maybe because I just woke up. No excuse. So I'll pause it for now, and hopefully I'll still be in the trade, so I'll be back. So just a quick update. This is the status of the trade. Look at this breakout. So at the market open, when the stock market opened at 9:30, the Canadian dollar just shot straight up, and it blew right past my 3x reward, 1 to 3, because I was risking 10 ticks, and here's my 1 to 3 risk reward level. So if I click on active trader, the trade is already up $200. So, and it hasn't even broken above this diagonal plane yet. So I think it's going to pull back significantly and continue ranging. But I'm still going to stay in the trade. It hasn't broken my level yet. So yeah, you can see this pullback right here. I mean, ultimately, worst case scenario, I get stopped out, right? It does a dramatic pullback. The most I could lose at this point is maybe if I move up my stop higher, it could be right before my entry to guarantee a profitable trade at least. But at this point, I'm just going to leave it here because 10 ticks is equal to a $50 loss. What I'll do is I'll create an alarm just to let me know that price is below the support resistance level. And if this gets triggered, I'll move my stop up at least slightly above my entry. So this way I'm guaranteeing a break even, covering the trade fees as well. So, but that's the status of the trade for now. Even though I got in at the wrong time, I was able to be fortunate enough to capture this. Still to be determined. I'll be back. So just a few minutes ago, actually a few seconds ago, I closed the trade out. There was a big, strong pullback. I'm sure it's going to continue ranging, but I thought I'd just protect the principal. What I'll do is I'll look for another window to re-enter and hopefully catch the breakout here, this blue diagonal, what my initial intention is. But this was I should have just closed it out right at this point. But anyway, I was still able to capture $120 off a incorrect entry. Again, I entered too early because again, I was waiting for the breakout to occur here. But there's still time. Maybe there's another leg towards the upside, so I'll watch out for that. And then I'll still keep this alarm here. Let me get rid of this. And let me get rid of this. So yeah, I'll just wait for another opportunity, as well as sticking to my game plan, waiting for the breakout to happen over here. So I'll end it for now, and I'll be back for another setup. It's 11 o'clock in the morning, and based on a 30-minute time frame, I've re-entered the Canadian dollar trade, and my re-entry price is 0.78365, and right now it's up $35. So 120 of it was from earlier this morning. I've re-entered, so this is my second contract for today. I re-entered with one contract. So I'm still bullish on this. I know I'm entering too early, but it looks like it might retest this resistance level of 78444, and it might get over it this time. So I don't know if it's FOMO, but I don't know. I have my stop here. I have my alarm here just to notify me that there could be a sharp pullback, which it did here. And I was able to get out of the trade earlier this morning as price was coming down. I mean, it shot up after the market opened, the stock market opened, and I got out slightly below this support resistance level for a $120 win. And it eventually pulled all the way back. And when it came down here, I was thinking about re-entering down here, but again, anything can happen, right? So anyway, I have my 10 tick stop, which is $50 from my entry. And that's my Altria trade. So I have to reassess that. And so I'll pause it for now and I'll be back. So just a status update. It's January 6th. It's 9:29 p.m. Eastern Time. This is still the 30-minute chart involving the Canadian dollar futures trade. So the status is that price is currently trading at 0.7863. Right here, the white horizontal line at 0.78365 was my re-entry. Price did break above the local resistance level and has retested the second resistance level twice, 12:30 this afternoon, and the second attempt was about an hour ago, and price is now starting to pull back. There's a probability that price might pull back to the lows right down here where it did before after being rejected. But I'm not going to be awake to manage this trade during the overnight session. So what I did was I placed this OCO order. This one cancels other order. So these are two combined orders. So before I get into that, what I did was I moved my initial 10 tick stop all the way up here to my overnight stop. So now that my overnight stop is above my entry, I'm going to delete this, right? So from my entry to this overnight stop, just in case price comes all the way down and crosses below my overnight stop, at least this will be about $110 profit in addition to the $120 from this morning. So hopefully that won't be the case and price will hover around here and retest and break above it. So as I anticipated going into this trade this afternoon, this re-entry, I was anticipating that the break would occur and that price would stay above this local support resistance level, which it has. So now it looks like where there's multiple touch points here at 0.7854, this looks to be like a reasonable support level. So my overnight stop is slightly below this mid-level between these two support resistance levels, as well as slightly above this local support level. So I have my two alarms here just to notify me that price is pulling back. Considering that that will be the case, I'm just going to cancel this one. I might just move this one. I doubt I'll be awake to even hear this if it gets that bad and pulls all the way down here. But in any case, I'll just leave these two alarms active for now. So again, just to quickly recap the break, it broke the pattern here, this diagonal pattern, and price is now, let me just zoom in. So here's my diagonal support level. And I did get into this earlier this morning and then again this afternoon or mid-morning. So hopefully, price will get above this resistance level here. Hopefully, like 1 o'clock tonight or 1 o'clock in the morning. Usually that's when crazy things happen, between 1 a.m. and 5 a.m. But there's also some volatility that could come in tomorrow morning. There's some federal announcement coming up, so that might have a negative impact or positive impact to the price of this Canadian dollar. But in any case, here's my take profit just in case price does run up, right? So this is around 0.7903. And that would be an additional $665 take profit. And if I open up Active Trader, the trade is now up an additional $240. So if I was to close it out between my earlier win of 120 plus this 240, then my overall trade for the day for this futures contract would be $360. But since re-entering this trade, the trade is now up $240. It was as high as 320 at some point before coming right back down to 240. So that's the update. And yeah, hopefully this mid-level will hold and break above this in the early morning hours. So I'll pause it for now. I'll most likely do one more update. If I'm still in the trade, I'll do a final recap in the before the weekend, because tomorrow this futures market will stop trading at 5 p.m. Eastern time. So I want to be out of this trade before then, because I just want to avoid any volatility that may occur over the weekend. And you can see that price is now moving even quicker towards the downside. So I'll probably get stopped out right here at my overnight stop. So yeah, I'm just going to end it here and I'll pick it up in a little bit. Today is Friday, January 7th, and it's 20 minutes after 10. And the stock market's been open for about an hour now. And we can see that since the market opened and the non-farm payrolls have been released, it has a positive effect on the Canadian dollar as price broke above this local resistance level. And it's pushing towards the next support resistance level that I identified at 0.7894. So my stop or take profit is at that level, because I have no intentions of keeping this trade open past Friday, because the futures market will close this evening for the weekend, and I want to avoid any volatility that might come up over the weekend. So I thought I'd just protect the profits and just end it here and look for another re-entry next week. And what I also did was I moved my stop from down here, my overnight stop, to up here. Now that price is above this resistance level. So now in the event that price comes sharply down, I have an alarm here to notify me of that. So if there's a spike towards the downside, then I'll just move my stop even higher just to protect as much, because again, I don't have, this trade is going to be open for like another few hours anyway. And at this point, the trade is up $525 since I re-entered this trade back here at 10:30 yesterday morning, so about 24 hours ago. So price is up, the trade's up almost a little over 500. This take profit is about $575 plus an additional 120 that I took yesterday when it pushed from like down here to up here. I took a $120 win. So between the two, that's almost a $700 trade in 2 days, or actually 1 day, right? Because this is about 24 hours. And to capitalize on the rising Canadian dollar or weakening US dollar, again, it's just a matter of perspective, what I did was I also took a position involving the US dollar Canadian dollar Forex trade or spot. So if I toggle over to that trade, you can see I only took one mini lot of 10,000 units. My entry price is at $1.27, which I entered on this candlestick right here last night at 7:30, and right now the trade is up $29.51. So I'm essentially double dipping involving the Canadian dollar, and this trade, I'll most likely keep this one open over the weekend. So I'm definitely closing out the futures market, the futures trade, but I'll definitely keep this FX trade open. So from my entry, I had a 18 pip stop, which I've just moved towards before my break even. So now I'm guaranteeing a profitable trade at this point. So price is breaking below a local support resistance level that I identified. And my initial take profit is right here at 1.265, which is a 1 to 3 risk to reward, because I was risking 18 pips. And from this pip level here, this is, what am I looking at here? This is 60 pips. So I was risking 18 to make 60. So that's a little over 1 to 3 risk to reward. Now, if I see a strong continuation below this support level, then I'll probably walk my take profit down to 75 pips, which is about right here, right? And again, it depends on how what price action is showing. So if I see a stronger push, then I'll eventually start walking it even further. But I don't want to get ahead of myself. This is just, a secondary trade. My priority is the futures trade. So going back to the futures. So if I do get closed out, I'll do one last update just to wrap it up with this asset of the Canadian dollar. And yeah, so far so good. So I'll be back. So it's 12:04 p.m. and this is the last update. So price broke above my local resistance level here and closed out my trade at around 11 o'clock this morning. So overall, this was an additional $575 win in addition to the $120 from yesterday. So a very productive 24 hours regarding the Canadian dollar. And between this move here from my entry to my exit, this was a 6-to-1 risk to reward. Actually, it was greater than 6. It was almost 6.5 risk to reward. So great return here on this trade. And if I toggle over to the US Canadian dollar, price is below my take profit. Actually, it's now acting as resistance, right? So hopefully that's resistance. And the trade is at $47.30. So as I had mentioned, as a matter of fact, I'll move my stop down here. So this way it's guaranteed profit at this point, but I'll let the trade continue. Again, here's my entry, here's my stop. So here's my take profit. I should have just closed this trade out, but I think there's I'll probably give it towards the end of the day and then reassess it. If it looks like it's going to consolidate, I might just close it out here and then pick it up Sunday evening. So yeah, so until next setup, I'll see you.